Philadelphia. For now, the Giants appear to have caught a break. Johnny Cueto was diagnosed with a sprained right elbow on Monday, but Dr. James Andrews did not recommend ending Tommy John surgery, as team officials feared last week. Cueto will rejoin the team Monday night and will need to rehab for 6 to 8 weeks. Trainer Dave Groschner accompanied Cueto to the examination and told manager Bruce Bochy that the right-hander was ecstatic when he heard the diagnosis. "He's really pumped. He's not going to have to deal with Tommy John surgery," Bochy said. Cueto was shut down last week because of continued discomfort in his pitching elbow. He saw multiple specialists in a bid to find a rehab route. Cueto, 32, dealt with right flexor discomfort last but returned to pitch down the stretch. He did not take the opt-out in his contract after and in April, that looked like the best thing that happened to the Giants in 2017. In 5 starts, Cueto had an MLB leading 0.84 ERA. "It's really incredible how well he has thrown the ball and competed with elbow soreness," Bochy said. "There's nobody that's been throwing the ball better than him in baseball." Without Cueto, and with Madison Bumgarner still rehabbing a fractured finger, the Giants will rely on an extremely young rotation for at least another month. Chris Stratton, in his first as a big league starter, is the de facto ace of the staff right now. Jeff Samardzija and Derek Holland are the veterans, but they have gotten off to slow starts. Ty Blach and Andrew Suarez round out the group, with Suarez taking Cueto's spot in the rotation. Bumgarner is expected back in about a month. Philadelphia. The locals were buzzing Monday afternoon, and not just because the 76ers had a playoff game on deck. The weather in Philadelphia has finally turned, and this city enjoyed some sunshine after a long and cold winter. Jeff Samardzija enjoyed it, too, up to a certain point. After a couple of weeks during which his fastball sat 90 to 92 miles per hour in the early innings and basically topped out at 94, Samardzija came out firing 96 miles per hour heaters in the first inning at Citizens Bank Park. "What was the difference? It was a nice night out," he said. "We were sweating a bit and getting going. That was the positive. The negative was that Samardzija had his manager sweating in the first inning, too." Bruce Bochy almost had to pull his starter during a 40-pitch frame that included 3 walks and a long homer from Odubel Herrera. "The velocity is back. The command has disappeared." Samardzija has walked 13 batters in 4 starts. He walked 14 before the All-Star break last. He said he needs to work on harnessing the velocity that has returned, and sharpening a slider that oftentimes looked like a flat 90 miles per hour fastball in an 11-0 loss. "I've got to get that slider right," he said after lasting just 4 innings. Still, the Giants were oddly happy given the blowout score. "It's easier to sharpen your command than it is to throw in the upper 90s, and Samardzija hit 97.3 miles per hour in the 3rd inning, a throwback to Priors. I was encouraged, really," Bochy said. "He's back to having normal stuff, velocity, everything. He's got to get the command now. He's been pitching without that and missing spots. Coming off a layoff for a shoulder injury." Samardzija admitted that his preparation has been affected. He can't throw long bullpen sessions to try and tighten certain pitches, so he'll need to find some other way to bring the slider back. The Giants will need it, too, given their current state. The news on Johnny Cueto earlier in the day was viewed as a positive and a surprise, but the Giants still will spend the next month without their 2 best pitchers. They could use a nice run from Samardzija, and they'll need the squad to resemble the team from the weekend, not the one from Monday night. The lineup did nothing against Zach Eflin and made 3 errors in the field. The bullpen was hammered. "It was just an off night of everybody," Bochy said. Box score Philadelphia. The Giants knew this road trip would be tougher than it looked where the schedule came out. The young Braves did not live up to the hype, but the young Phillies certainly did. The first night of a week in Pennsylvania was a disaster, an 11-0 loss that was ugly in all respects. Jeff Samardzija got shelled and had another concerning outing. The bullpen turned the game into a boat race, the lineup couldn't touch Zach Eflin, and the defense was once again shaky. The loss snapped a 4-game winning streak. Here are the particulars. Samardzija has always had an issue with the long ball, and the Phillies got a couple of long homers in his 4 innings. In the first, Odubel Herrera followed a couple of walks with a home run that landed in the visiting bullpen in center field. Cesar Hernandez went up a tank in right for a 2-run shot in the 4th. Samardzija was charged with 5 earned on 4 hits and 3 walks. There was a bit of good news, though. Samardzija has been sitting 90 to 92 in the first inning of previous starts, but he was up to 96 in the long first inning Monday. He topped out at 97.3 miles per hour with a pitch to Herrera in the third that was easily his fastest of the year. The velocity is back, so he appears to be healthy. Now he just needs to figure out the command. DJ Snelton, the big Snelt, had to wear it after Samardzija finished up. Snelton threw 56 pitches out of the bullpen and gave up 5 runs on a pair of homers. The first was a shot to center by Carlos Santana that landed in Gorkys Hernandez's glove and then popped out and over as he slammed into the padded wall. The Giants made 3 errors on the night, one each by Brandon Crawford, Evan Longoria and Hernandez. They have 19 errors in their past 15 games. That's not what this team was supposed to be about.